So, we just landed in Paris. It hasn't really hit us yet where we are. We flew all night, Celine Dion style, but we made the smart decision of making a 1 o'clock reservation when we landed at 12. Still have our bags, going to the restaurant now. This is called having a local friend. Stop at my favorite store in Paris. Hey, so good to see you. Yeah, at least there's candles, huh? LA. Thank you so much for watching. Present day Justin here, and this video was very interesting for me to make, and I feel like I need to epilogue it for a couple of reasons. First, if you've seen any of my other super vlogs, you kind of know the direction that I was planning on taking this when I shot it. I was planning on narrating it and maybe putting a little bit of text over the footage and then giving you kind of a breakdown of what we were eating the entire time. Obviously, I didn't do that. Thing number two, I wanted to shoot an entire vlog in 4K on my iPhone with a moment lens attached to it. And my thinking was, if I thought of my phone as a dedicated camera, I would spend less time on my phone and more time just living in the moment. And it would also be less distracting than like a full blown out vlogging setup, which worked in theory. But the problem was when I came back to the US and I sat down to edit this footage, you can see in some of the clips that like the lens would separate from the actual camera on my phone, which caused this weird like motion jankiness, and some of the shots were really noisy, especially in low light, and I overall wasn't that excited about the footage when I got back to the US. So what ended up happening is I wanted it to be less intrusive, less stressful to shoot a vlog, and what I ended up with was, at least in my opinion, a more mediocre product. And also, when I got back to the US, I was just swamped with projects, so freelance stuff, dinners, and so I've essentially just been chipping away at this edit for the past 5 months, so it was really hard to remember exactly what it is we ate, when we ate, where we ate. All of these reasons, excuses, whatever you want to call it, make it a really difficult video for me to post because I know that it's not technically providing you with any sort of value or utility. Yes, it's a selfish video for me and for my girlfriend Anna, the other character in the story, to be able to look back on it and see this is what we did in our trip to Paris. Also, like, all the serendipitous moments that happened, like Chef James Henry being in import-export cam and seeing Atsushi Tanaka in Clamato, and of course hanging out with my friend Paul, all really, really great things for me to be able to look back on. But what about you? What about you being able to plan a trip to Paris and using where I went? So what I've done is I've created downloadable Google Maps, and this is going to be something I'm doing going forward on all of my travels. So I have it linked up below in the description. It's broken up into 2 categories: eating plus drinking, shops plus sites. And then that is all broken down. It has some notes to go along with it, and you can go ahead and use that when you're planning your trips. If you're opening up Google Maps and you're like, what do I do when I'm in the 10th district? This is what I did. Regardless, I'm stoked to have made this and to have put it out there. Now I can look back on it, and my kids can look back on it, but I apologize if it doesn't live up to the expectations you have from any of my past travel vlogs. If you have any questions about very specific scenes that you saw in this movie, go ahead and leave them down low in the comments. I will do my best to answer them for you. As far as specific questions about food, I might not be able to 100% answer because a lot of these restaurants are very seasonal, and whatever I ate back in January, they probably aren't serving anymore. But if you've got a trip to Paris coming up, maybe it will give you a little bit of wanderlust. I will be coming out with a video shortly about how I plan my trips because I think it's really unique, and I think it's really effective, and I think it really allows me to experience a lot of a city in a very short amount of time. I certainly learned a lot of lessons shooting this video. I will not be vlogging like this going forward, but at least I learned, and now we can move on. My name is Justin Khanna. Have a good one.